Hi everyone, today is a special day, so we've come to a special place. We've just reached 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's amazing. Gemma's giving me the thumbs up behind the lens, but yeah, it's amazing that we were struggling for 1,000 people not very long ago, and now we have 6 times that. It's crazy. And to celebrate, I thought I'd tell you a little story. But first, just as a bit of housekeeping, if you haven't checked already, we still have some places available on the ground handling retreat. So link is in the description. Basically, come and ground handle with us in June this year, at the beginning of June. All the dates and all the details are on the website, and we still have some places available. So if you're interested, check that out. Okay, so on with the story. I want to talk to you about flight logbooks. I don't know if everyone keeps one, probably everyone has heard of one, but all kinds of pilots from all walks of life keep logbooks, and they're really important. In aviation, currency is everything, and if you don't know how current you are, then you don't know how current you are. It's basically how good of a pilot are you? Is the more current you are, the better you'll fly. So it's really important to keep a logbook for that reason. So with all these digital instruments and logs, and tracks on XC contest, why would you keep a paper logbook? It seems a bit backwards, but for me personally, I find it really useful because a lot of flights that I do, sometimes I don't fly with instruments, but also it's the one place that I know that every single flight that I do is recorded, doesn't matter how long or short. And I think that's important because having a logbook really helps you get a feel for rustiness. So if you feel a bit out of shape, you haven't ground handled or flown for a while, when you get that feeling, you can go on the logbook and see, has it been 2 weeks? Has it been 2 months? And you can start getting a feel to what your rusty is like, and it'll be different for everyone. And also, it helps you set goals and milestones, because if you see that you have 47.2 hours, you might be really motivated to do a 2 or 3 hour flight to just close it and get to 50 hours. So I think it's a really good way to keep track on how you're doing and push for a little bit more. And also perhaps the most important thing is it helps you remember some really great flights and some really great moments, and perhaps some bad ones as well. With every flight you get to leave a comment, so that makes you kind of transports you back to how you felt back in that day, which might not be how you remember it, or it might not be how you think you felt. Right, so my logbook is from the BHPA, but other logbooks are available. And as your little name, address, all those things that you might want to put in. This one I find quite interesting. You can list all the types of gliders or canopies that you've flown and when you've flown them. So looking at this, I can actually see that I've flown at least 2 or 3 new gliders every year for the past 4 or 5 years. So that's quite interesting. And here we go, back to the old days. Flight number 1, 1 to 3, a Dali Moore. I've straight and level, I flew 10 feet 3 times above the ground. I learned on Thoe, so I was just being pulled by a rope. But yeah, really interesting. Lots of that, always in the same place, always the same school glider, and that was 2014. You can keep a running total of how much time each flight is, but also the running total of what you have. So in 2014 I had a grand total of 4 hours. Okay, so this is second page. We're now on my first year of flying, and I already have, there was one amazing day in Sesimbra, which is an hour south of here. I was really happy with that flight. Oh yeah, I'll tell you that flight actually. I think this is the one I'm going to pick to tell the story, because that flight, it's basically a big bay with kind of like a valley in the middle and a hill on one side and a big hill on the other side, and the wind kind of comes in at a bit of an angle, so you can fly the left side hill. and it has plenty, it's plenty high, and it has plenty of lift. So, and the landing and the takeoff is quite nice, and you land down at the beach. So I just started flying. Bear in mind I was 8 hours, so really not experienced at all. And I never been to a place that was so easy to stay up, so it was really nice just going back and forth in the ridge. There was maybe 10, 20, 30 wings up maybe, so it was busy but it wasn't crowded. So just that, flying with other people was really awesome. But then I managed to get high enough above the ridge that you could glide all the way to the beach, but actually above the town. So kind of like above an urban environment where I think, oh, I can't land there, but you were so high that you didn't worry, just went to the beach. But then what happened was that I was following my friend along, and as you get to the beach isn't that deep, the place for you to land, so you kind of have to land on a fairly narrow strip. But it has some big buildings there, and the way the buildings were aligned and the wind meant there was actually lift. So as I was doing my pattern to come into land, I was actually getting lift. So I managed to work the building slowly and kind of go along more to the left. Ended up connecting between the buildings and the ridge again, and then used the ridge to get up again, and then got all the way back to takeoff, which is actually quite far away from where I was. So I actually ended up doing like a triangle or so. Anyway, I was over the moon, and it was really awesome, not only to be able to go out and away and come back to the same place, but actually to top land at the end and fly for 2-3 hours with 8 hours experience. It was yeah, amazing. Anyway, that's a little story from my flight logbook. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have stories like that might seem really basic for other people but are amazing to you, please leave it down in the comments. We love sharing these stories, and everyone always comes up with really cool stuff in the comments, so just leave it down below. And as always, I want to thank all these lovely people on Patreon for supporting this channel and the videos. And yeah, if you're interested in paragliding videos, just check it out. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next time. Bye. Oh, and Gemma says bye.
Bye.